The Philadelphia experiment is one of the most grotesque military urban legends ever, and it has endured as an infamous World War II conspiracy theory. But is there any truth to it? Let's take a look. According to legend, on October 28, 1943, the USS Eldridge, a Cannon-class destroyer escort, was conducting top-secret experiments designed to win command of the oceans against the Axis powers. The rumor was that the government was creating technology that would render naval ships invisible to enemy radar. And there in the Philadelphia Naval Shipyard, it's time to test it out. Witnesses then claimed an eerie green-blue glow surrounded the hull of the ship as their generators spun up, and then suddenly, the Eldridge disappeared. The ship was then seen in Norfolk Naval Shipyard in Virginia, before disappearing again and reappearing back in Philadelphia. The legend states that classified military documents reported that the Eldridge crew were affected by the events in disturbing ways. Some went insane, others developed mysterious illnesses, but others still were said to have been fused together with the ship. Still alive, but with limbs sealed to the metal. Ugh. You disturbed? Yeah, should be. And that is actually why the Eldridge's story gained so much momentum. In a 1994 article for the Journal of Scientific Exploration, Jacques F. Vallée theorized that deep-seated imagery is key to planting a hoax into the minds of the masses and of the educated public. But before we break down what really happened that day, let's talk about the man behind the myth, Carl M. Allen, who would go by the pseudonym Carlos Miguel Allende. In 1956, Allende sent a series of letters to Morris K. Jessup, author of the book The Case for the UFO, in which he argued that unidentified flying objects merit further study. Jessup apparently included text about unified field theory, because that is what Allende latched onto for his correspondences. In the 1950s, unified field theory, which has never been proven, attempted to merge Einstein's general theory of relativity with electromagnetism. In fact, Allende claimed to have been taught by Einstein himself, and also claimed he could prove the unified field theory based on events he said he witnessed on October 28, 1943, and aliens. Allende claimed that he saw the Eldridge disappear from the Philadelphia Naval Yard, and he further insisted that the United States military had conducted what he called the Philadelphia experiment and was trying to cover it up. Jessup was then contacted by the Navy's Office of Naval Research, who had received a package containing Jessup's book with annotations claiming that extraterrestrial technology allowed the US government to make breakthroughs in unified field theory. This is one of the weirdest details. The annotations were designed to look like they were written by 3 different authors. One maybe extraterrestrial? Now, according to Vallée's article for the Journal of Scientific Exploration, Jessup became obsessed with Allende's revelations, and the disturbed researcher would take his own life in 1959. And it wasn't until 1980 that proof of Allende's forgery would be made available. Inexplicably, 2 ONR officers had 127 copies of the annotated text printed and privately distributed by the military contractor Varro Manufacturing, giving wings to Allende's story long after Jessup's death. So, what really happened aboard the USS Eldridge that day? According to Edward Dudgeon, who served in the US Navy aboard the USS Engstrom, both ships did have classified devices on board. Now, they were neither invisibility cloaks nor teleportation drives designed by aliens, but instead they scrambled the magnetic signatures of ships using the degaussing technique, which would provide protection from magnetic torpedoes aboard U-boats. How Stuff Works suggested that the green glow reported by witnesses that day could be explained by an electric storm or St. Elmo's fire, which, in addition to being an American coming-of-age film starring the Brat Pack, is a weather phenomenon in which plasma is created in a strong electric field, giving off a bright glow, almost like fire. Finally, inland canals used by the military connected Norfolk to Philadelphia, allowing the ship to travel between the two in a few hours, which would explain how the USS Eldridge could have been seen in both places that day. You know, it just went from one to the other and then came back. Maybe, I don't know. The USS Eldridge would be transferred to Greece in 1951 and sold for scrap in the 90s, but Allende's hoax would live on in our f***ing nightmares forever. Good thing it's something that never happened. But, for all of you true believers out there, what are your favorite military conspiracy theories? I'm almost afraid to ask. No, I'm not. I'm not afraid of anything. Well, I am afraid of this theory. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Leave me a comment, let me know.